goes for its 5th Atlantic 10 Conference Tournament title. Signs to live by, and live hard they do. Because Temple and UMass, the conference dominant teams the last decade, they meet again tonight in Philadelphia with the Atlantic 10 Championship on the line. And roll here in Philadelphia at the Civic Center as the Temple Owls, dominated twice by the UMass Minutemen, they go for the Atlantic 10 Conference Tournament Championship. Hi, everybody. Dave Sims along with Larry Connolly as we look at the brackets. UMass defeated GW. George Washington held 4 straight wins over UMass. Minutemen got them last night. Temple avenged an earlier season loss to the Rhode Island Rams. And our story tonight, as we greet you from Philadelphia, Larry, is William Cunningham, a senior who had not been very productive during the course of his career. He exploded last night.
Indeed, he did. Derek Battie, the regular starter for this Temple club, went down with a little bit of flu, and while he was under the weather, William Cunningham came off of the bench. 13 points, 14 rebounds. The senior, and a big guy, too, I might add. Cunningham, as you can see, making the move inside, and was a big, big factor in that win over Rhode Island. Temple had 3 guys with double-doubles last night, but Cunningham's might have been the most important. That it was. 7 straight wins for the Owls, 4 straight for UMass. There's a look at Leonard Stewart and the rest of the Temple Owls who come in with the record of 19-11. LaVan Alston's going to have to really guide things from the point. 11th in assists, 6th in steals in the Atlantic 10 Conference, but he only shoots 36%. For John Chaney, who 4 times has been the Atlantic 10 Coach of the Year. And the reigning Coach of the Year just won the award again for the 3rd time, John Calipari. He's going to depend a lot on Carmelo Travieso. He has dominated Temple from long range, hitting 12 of 22 from three-point land in the 2 meetings this year. And you want to talk about dominance, Larry. That man right there, Marcus Camby, Player of the Year candidate, in the first game had 9 block shots in a 59-35 win over the Temple Owls, and some dominance right there. Look at that, by a total of 54 points in the 2 games. And here we go, Dante Bright to Edgar Padilla.
Temple opens up that matchup, zone defense. So proud of it. And well, they should be. Won a lot of games.
Listen, hey, they give up just 57.5 points a game, #1 in the country. Dante Bright, first shot is a good one.
Bright picking up right where he left off. 19 big points in that win last night. All right, already. You see UMass with a little bit of pressure. I think they're going to try to put it on Alston. He really is the only guy that handles the basketball for Temple. You see Travieso and probably Padilla switching off on him all night long.
Last night, in the semifinal win by the Owls, they got up to a 19-3 lead. Then Rhode Island put some full-court pressure on Temple and closed the gap and made it a game. Here's Mark Jackson in the post against Camby. Jackson's going to use his bulk. And a block. The great weapon for Marcus Camby, his 103rd block of the season.
Dave, Jackson's been doing that the entire tournament. You can't do that against one of the nation's best shot blockers.
Off to a good start is Dante Bright. He hit another one. It's 4-0 UMass.
You and I talked a great deal about this before the show, but this is a basketball team that does not revolve around one player. There are a number of quality players on this club. And I'm talking about UMass.
And they get a foul off the ball. It's against William Cunningham. Legal pick. There's Cunningham coming off a fabulous game last night. He had 32 points all season coming into last night. Came out with 13 points, 14 boards.
Well, they didn't know that Battie was as bad off as he was, and just before game time, they decided to make the switch and put Cunningham into the lineup. One of the things John Chaney said last night, says, I really didn't expect him to have the ball that much.
Travieso misses his first from behind the arc, and Cunningham turns it over. He travels.
Hey, that's automatic. If you've got the basketball and you go down, if your feet come up, that is traveling.
Quick substitution as Tyrone Weeks, sporting a little shiner under the left eye, comes in. Tyrone right here in Philadelphia, Franklin Learning Center.
He was walking by me before the game. I looked at him and said, well, what is this? He kind of looked at me and he kind of raised his elbow and said, somebody got me.
In the GW, there was some physical play last night. Alexander, Igor Mashirikov, and first shot by Camby's an air ball.
Dave, Marcus Camby had a bad shooting night last night. He was 6 out of 23, and I think the cool really kind of forced him out away from the basket. Canby not used to playing that much that far out. Last night, a little difficulty getting that field goal percentage down.
Canby had 25 minutes of action last night. John Calipari played him almost like a hockey player. Fits in bursts of 2 and 3 minutes. And I think his longest burst might have been about 9 or 10 minutes. Did have some foul trouble, and Temple turns it over again. Temple, 4 possessions, Larry, and 3 turnovers.
I was just watching Larry Lembo, one of the officials in this game, talking to Marcus Canby. Canby walked over to him and he says, hey, look, Mark Jackson is marching me back down into the basket and throwing elbows. I don't want that to happen. Lembo says, I'll watch it. I'll keep an eye on it.
Joining Larry Lembo on the officiating crew, Jerry Donahue and Gene Monge. There's your turnover number, and not good for Temple. Averaging almost 12 a game to Tyrone Weeks. And here's the start that you're UMass, you gotta love it. Up 6-0 on a team they've already beaten 59-35 and 84-55.
Finding openings in that zone. Temple needs something offensively right now.
Cunningham. Van Alston, guarded by Trevieso. Alston got his man in the air and the foul. And now Canby limps right towards us. Came down on that right ankle.
Watch it again. Travieso trying to keep up right here. Austin makes a nice move to get right to the free throw line. Stop, pump fake. There you can see the foul committed. I tell you what, when Marcus Canby is in the neighborhood, I'm going to keep my feet.
But Derek Battie has come into the game. He's been the most productive owl, as Cunningham sits out, most productive owl over the last 8 to 10 games of the season. 13 points, 10 boards a game. Alston at the line, 77% on the season. Transferred in from the University of New Orleans a couple years ago. Tip up is good by Mark Jackson. He stays with it. So Temple finally on the board at 17-18, Larry.
Well, John Calipari off the bench immediately to say something to Tyrone Weeks. Travieso in the corner.
Unbelievable. He owns Temple. Last night, he didn't get that many looks from George Washington. Certainly not a lot of good looks. Shooting 2 for 10. But the game before against St. Bonaventure, he lit up the Bonnies.
I tell you what, he lit up Temple up there at UMass in that second meeting. 26 points on 8 of 11 threes.
Phenomenal. 16-45 and counting as Battie in the game going against Weeks. Battie high off the glass, rebound by Leonard Stewart. Get it to Fudge. He got hit, no call. It's a triple.
Nice shot by Fudge. The answer on the other end to Travieso. Fudge's been a good player. Actually replaced Johnny Miller 8 games into the season when Miller went down with that injury.
A shoulder injury, and it really affected the rotation, but the Owls have recovered, and you know, this group has meshed pretty well. Enos Norville coming in and Canby going out, so we'll mark that down at the 16-19 mark. Canby leaving the game.
John Calipari's been substituting him in and out, sometimes even 15-20-second blows. We all know about that episode he had back during the season when he missed 4 games.
The collapse before the St. Bonaventure game on the road up in New York.
So we're not really sure exactly what's going on, but maybe just a pattern of substitution.
Trevieso with another look. Rebound Fudge. Fourth straight year these two teams have met in the Atlantic 10 Conference Championship, the Tournament Championship. Last 3 won by UMass, all at the Mullins Center. Changed the format here in the Atlantic 10 with the entire action right here in Philadelphia this year. Loose ball, and Jackson comes up with it. Padilla went for the steal, and Jackson made the play.
That's a good call, Dave. You're exactly right. Padilla slapped that ball away, enabling Temple to get the ball closer to the basket.
Wouldn't you love to play with a guy like Padilla? Assist man, great steal guy. His big shots.
He's just an all-around terrific basketball player. Makes everybody else around him good.
Jackson takes it away from Weeks.
I don't believe I'd leave Marcus Canby over there too much longer.
Not at all. 9-7 ball game. UMass on top. Bernard Stewart puts it over. Austin, here's Battie.
Battie's been working pretty well on that baseline.
No call. Dante Bright takes it away. Another solid defender, very good defender. The guy who's a great defender, I think, is Dana Dingle.
Into the defense now. Temple coming out a little bit more of a 1-3-1 match, trapping out of this.
Dante Bright's hit a couple so far. Here's Trevieso, finds some room, hits it.
Not only finding room, Temple's got to find him. You got to find the shooters. Don't let a guy like that float in and out. And it's what John Chaney's saying to his club right now.
Travieso 2 for 4. Threes. All 7 UMass in the lead. Get it down to Jackson going against Norville. Boy, Jackson really does a bump and grind in there. Stewart inside. He got challenged. Gets his rebound back. Stewart goes up and he's fouled.
Good effort inside. That's the kind of rebounding Temple needs tonight against this Massachusetts club. Leonard Stewart strong to the basket. Watch him now go up right here inside. Good strong power move. Can't get it. Goes back and gets his own rebound. Against the Massachusetts club that's pretty good in their own rebounding right.
Camby still on the bench. And Marcus, what do you think? He's your player of the year, Larry?
Absolutely. I've seen a lot of him this year. He's the best that I've seen. I don't know how you can not give it to him, because you start looking around the country at all the players who have dominated not only in their league but also with their team. I mean, his club's got 30 wins. They're 30-1. Wait, I don't know if another team in the country's got 30 wins. A lot of them are up around the 25, 26 area, but Marcus Camby is a very, very talented player. I think he deserves player of the year.
Got a TV timeout, 14-10 to go. It's UMass going for yet another tournament championship here in the A-10, up by 4.
"22 minutes, 16 seconds past the hour.
Bye.
Nice guy, James. His name's William.
A familiar face.
Shall we tell him it's raining?
What, ruin his day?
A morning smile. An extra step. A touch of diplomacy.
Au revoir, monsieur. Ciao. No, that was James. It was William.
At 22 minutes past the hour.
Bridge is down. But it got here anyway, didn't it? It's nice.
Quietly, with little fanfare, the people of FedEx are using their know-how, determination, and heart to treat your package as if it were the most important package of all. Because to them, that's exactly what it is.
It was James, such a nice boy.
He is a nice boy, but his name's William.
Maybe it's because their frames are welded instead of bolted. Or because their decks are stamped from a single piece of steel. Or maybe it's the fact that they have the highest resale value in the industry.
Oh, hey, I always wanted one of these. Thanks.
But the truth is, when people are asked what kind of lawn tractor they'd like as a gift,
Happy birthday, Dad.
most say the same thing.
At Pauley Pavilion, UCLA, another tight battle in the Pac-10. They've had a lot of them lately. They have trailed to the Washington State Cougars a lot of this game. But here, Jelani McCoy throws it down. The Bruins have just hit a 3. They lead by 1. Dave, Larry.
All right, thank you, Chris. Good looking comeback by UCLA.
Good basketball team that struggled early in the year, and Jim Herrick's got them playing well. And Jelani McCoy really has been, I think he's really been the guy who's been driving the train at the end of the season here. UCLA coming back, will they make another run at it?
You never know. I tell you what, I wouldn't put it past him. Really would. Carmelo Travieso, look at his numbers, 6 points on 2 for 4 from long range, shooting 39%. He's over 200 attempts now, Larry. 203 attempts. He's made 79, and Marcus Camby is back in the game.
I'm sure John Chaney has pointed out in his club he doesn't want to see a 204.
And that goes out. That air ball by Dante Bright. The intense John Chaney in his 14th year here at Temple University. I almost said at Cheney State. He won a Division II national championship around the corner here, basically, Cheney State, back in 1978.
They did not name the school after him either.
No, sir. Although in 78, they probably wanted
to. That's right.
Mark Jackson had it knocked out of his hands. He retrieves.
Dante Bright with good hands, good defensive work that time, helping inside.
Good front right there by Dante Bright. Here's Padilla.
Dave, the one thing I always like about Massachusetts is the way they keep themselves under control. They never put themselves in jeopardy. They always have got the situation exactly the way they want it.
Experienced group, too. Here's Camby. Got challenged. Did the right thing. Got it up on the board.
For all the ways that he is able to score points, I think maybe his best shot is turning around facing up 15 feet out. With his back to the basket, he's very effective too, but I think he's really good at looking at the basket straight up. Puts a lot of pressure on a center. I mean, in college, you got a guy who's 6'11" and shoots like that. How many college guys 6'11" can go out and guard somebody like that? You can't find that many good players defensively that can handle him.
He had a couple of moves last night where he was around the foul line, gave an up fake, and just stepped right by the guy and laid it in.
He's got great quickness. I mean, and that's the other thing, too. For a guy his size, if you do challenge him, he's able to put it on the floor.
1 out of 2, loose ball. Who's going to get it? Padilla's right there. Scramble. Dante Bright. Bright attacks. Good look. Dingle had it knocked away, but a foul on Jackson.
All right, a couple of things. One, Padilla's hustle. Keep it alive to Bright. Bright the drive, the dish to Dingle. All 3 guys contributing. Watch Bright here. Look inside. Dingle, wide open. Left side. Foul. But give Padilla credit. He kept it alive. I tell you, these guys, everybody contributes. Everybody gets a little touch.
They are off the board when it comes to the intangibles. They really are. I mean, that's how impressive this ball club is. Dingle at the line, the lefty, 60% on the season from the free throw line.
Steve, did you ever see a club? I mean, I've been around college basketball for a long, long time, but I've never seen a team that has so little expression on their faces as this club does. I mean, it's almost like a surgeon. I mean, they just go in there, they do their operation, and they get out, and let's move on. You know?
With that commercial. This is what I do.
This is what I do.
14-8, UMass. Just under 13 to go. Dave Sims and Larry Conley, good to have you with us at the Civic Center in Philadelphia. A-10 tournament championship on the line again. And familiar combatants, UMass and Temple.
Nice fake.
Jason Ivey, a little short. Temple, not a great shooting team, which is an understatement.
They what though? They did light it up in that first game the other night.
We saw them against Xavier. 54% in a 67-50 win. Here's Travieso with room. Makes him pay again. Carmelo Travieso.
I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it again and again. You got to find the shooters.
Biggest lead for the Minutemen. 9 points. It's 17-8. Travieso with 3 threes. Jackson going to try to get some of it back.
Jackson facing up now.
Stewart did not shoot a lot last night. Petit had it knocked away. Dingle, no, he couldn't save it, but the effort was there. Camby tried to keep it alive.
You know, I don't blame Temple for going inside. Their strength really is their inside game. Derek Petit and also Mark Jackson. Watch Stewart take a look inside. Petit with a good post-up position there. He turns and he's got Dante Bright. Can't control it, though. Camby comes in, gives him a little bit of help.
William Cunningham back in the game. Derek Petit will take a seat.
John Chaney hoping Cunningham gives him some more precious minutes like he gave last night.
Certainly gives him some size inside. Cunningham, a big 6'11", 250.
Could be the Petit still feeling a little some of the after effects of that flu, but look at Jackson.
How about that? He's 2 for 3 on the season now from long range. Hit one a couple of nights ago.
Yeah, he was 0 for 1 coming into the tournament.
That's right. Dante, whoa! That was a goaltend, but boy, did he get up and get that one.
William Cunningham in the air.
Boy, I think if nothing else, that's a message. Don't be bringing it in here, big guy. My goodness.
I've got gigabytes, I've got megabytes. I'm voicemailed, I'm emailed. I surf the net, I'm on the web. I am Cyberman. So how come I feel so out of touch? Are you free? Are you free? Are you free?
On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
When it broke, he didn't make her wait a week to look at it or give her the runaround about a missing part. He just fixed it right the first time and for a very reasonable price. And that's pretty much the way ASC certified technician Wes Schaefer and everyone at Pep Boys does business. For service and repairs the way you deserve it, day or night, even on Sundays, come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
Still using Western Union to wire money? Next time, use MoneyGram and save up to $9. Unless you really like getting overcharged. MoneyGram, always less than Western Union. Still using Western Union to wire money? Next time, use MoneyGram and save up to $9 because taking one bath a day is enough. MoneyGram, the better way to wire money.
A10 tourney title, UMass by 8, and coming up right after our game, another beauty. It's Georgetown against Connecticut. Georgetown really walloped Connecticut a few weeks ago. Can they do it again for the Big East Tournament Championship? We'll find out coming up at 8:30 here on ESPN. And later on tonight, it's the WAC Championship, New Mexico against Utah, followed by Weber State and Montana State at 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time. A lot of good basketball. So big they needed 2 networks to do it. John Calipari, the A10 Coach of the Year, his club up by 8, Larry.
Dave, how about a Saturday night where you're going to see the number 2, number 3, and number 6 teams in the country? Nice Saturday night in March, prior to the madness that begins next week.
Indeed. I'll take it. So far, Larry, Marcus Camby not a factor. 1 point, no rebounds, 1 for 2 from the field. He does have a block. Turnover, here comes UMass.
Padilla with a nice slap from behind. Travieso picking it up.
Padilla gets it to Travieso. Right, Padilla is wide open. Padilla, a little short. Up off the glass, and Temple rebound. That's William Cunningham.
Yeah, nice job by Cunningham, and also Jackson getting up there and getting it away from Campbell.
First time these teams met, UMass led 30-12 at McGonigal Hall back on February 1st.
Travieso is so tough to shake.
Sure is. Look at a loose ball. Shot clock at 13. Huey Futch, no. Rebound, Camby.
Controlled break.
Dingle with room. Can't get it. Dante Bright gets the rebound. He can't get it. Mark Jackson rebound. His third. Temple leads this all-time series 23-10. But UMass is 3 wins and 2 losses against Temple in the A10 tournament title game.
UMass in a zone defense now. They're matching up.
Cunningham right to the basket. Blocked by Camby. That's his second. Well, Cunningham got in last night with impunity. He was able to put it on the floor and get right to the basket. He wasn't bothered that badly by Rhode Island. Different story tonight. What a break for UMass. It went off of Temple. Went off a Temple player. So Leonard Stewart back in for Temple. Tyrone Weeks and Charlton Clark coming in.
Dave, one of the things you got to be aware of, anytime you're going to play Massachusetts, with Marcus Camby in there, and yeah, they've got great supporting cast around him, but Marcus Camby is a terrific shot blocker. You've got to know that when you go into that paint or in that lane that he's there.
UMass #1 in the A10 in block shots. 6.2 a game.
Marcus Camby ranked 6th in the nation in block shots. He's got 102 before this game. Got 2 already, 104.
Knocked away. He's going to get it. Temple takes over.
Pretty good defensive work that time by the Owls. They did not allow Massachusetts to penetrate that zone.
A couple of good defensive sequences, Larry, but they got to get Temple has to get some points.
Well, yeah, they need some offensive work. The defense has been pretty good, except for guarding Travieso.
Right. Jason Ivey. Gets it over to LeVan Alston. Stewart did not shoot well last night. He went 0 for 5. Tell you what, those 5 attempts, he really was forced into taking it. How about that? Around the world about 3 times to William Cunningham.
I think it might be Cunningham's weekend. I mean, that ball was in, it was out, it was in.
Less than 80 days to go around the world there. 9-minute.
Nice pass.
Camby hammered by Cunningham.
Well, what a nice look. Charlton Clark into the game for Mass. Just delivered a terrific pass inside to Camby. Good recognition, good passing. Look at this. Before he even got down, the ball was out of his hands.
That was sweet.
See Cunningham grab Camby to keep him from hurting himself. Nice gesture.
Yes, indeed. Dante Bright takes a seat. Charlton Clark getting some instructions. Freshman. From New York, here's Camby. The line again. Not a bad looking stroke for him either.
Yeah, he shoots 71%. John Calipari
got his ace suit on tonight. Looking good. 1 out of 2, and Austin will take over for the Owls. UMass leading 20-13. Under 9 to go, first half.
Watch Travieso pick up Austin out front. I really think this disrupts the Temple offense because he comes out there and forces the guard to push the ball around the side.
Cunningham facing him. Cunningham again. My goodness, you called it, Larry. His weekend.
It's his weekend, I'm telling you.
Travieso, they let him go. A little strong this time. And knocked out of bounds by Jason Ivey. He can't believe it.
Carmelo Travieso, a rare miss. Let's watch William Cunningham on the baseline, turning, looking. Nice look up over Tyrone Weeks in the bottom of the net. William Cunningham, your senior, where have you been?
Larry, you know, we've seen him. We saw him. We did a few games about 3-4 years ago when he was a freshman. Remember, he used to put the ball on the floor. The big change today, once he stops his dribble, he does something with it.
Exactly. Making something occur inside.
Tyrone Weeks, boy, with an attitude going in, and Mark Jackson.
Good block.
Yes, indeed.
I think Ivy got a piece of that from behind.
Temple down 5. 8:15 to go, first half. Mark Jackson against Canby. Let's get that down. Dingle over to help.
They're backing in.
Jason Ivey for 3. He hits it. Jason Ivey has not made a career out of hitting threes. I'll tell you, 38% this year. That's his 16th.
They're going to take Temple again to shoot the ball the way they did the first night of this tournament.
Look at that defense, but a better shot by Tyrone Weeks back home in Philly. Tyrone Weeks off the bench for 4 points.
John Calipari's made a change of defensive assignments now. Padilla's got Austin out front. All the time Travieso's having it. He's the better defender. I think Padilla just as quick though.
Lefty hook. Jackson, no. Weeks rebound. Lost it. Cunningham. Cunningham with the slam. William Cunningham. The Temple bench is going nuts. They don't even believe it.
I'm telling you, this guy has arrived. It is his weekend.
Cunningham with 8 points and a 2-point UMass lead. Canby trying to answer. Rebound. Cunningham. And we're not talking Billy Cunningham either. We are in Philadelphia, but this William Cunningham has really come on the last 24 hours. Here's Mark Jackson. They go for the tie. Jump hook. No. Cunningham couldn't get it. Weeks with the rebound.
Padilla with another controlled break. Looking.
Dana Dingle, Charlton Clark, Tyrone Weeks, Canby, and Padilla on the floor for the Minutemen. Clark to Padilla. Padilla, good look. There's Canby inside. Reverse. Oh, that is nice for the big fella.
And Padilla with a nice look to the pass. Inside. Marcus Canby right there to grab it.
UMass by 4. Austin takes it right inside. Stewart stepped on the line. Gene Manji with the call. Stepping on the line, but John Chaney's club down by 4, and William Cunningham takes a little trip around the world with this bucket. It only counts at deuce, but it certainly looked good.
Uh-oh. Rumble alert! Somebody's hungry! Hey, I have an idea. How does steam grilled sound? Say cheese! Sounds like a White Castle situation! Because only White Castle's got that one-of-a-kind steam grilled taste. What do you think of that, pal? Whoa! Mucho credo. Bet the post office could use a guy like you. White Castle, what you crave.
I couldn't have done it on my own.
It has saved my life.
The techniques really work.
It made math fun to learn.
Excellent.
I could relate to them.
It worked.
It was fun.
I didn't get bored.
Ball fake. Can be a simple game, and you youngsters keep the head up like Edgar Padilla. It's amazing what you can see, right?
That's exactly right. All he needed was that little fake, and Austin made that move at him, and when he did, it opened up the passing lane, and Canby was right there to grab it.
Rella Travieso about to come in. Next dead ball for the Minutemen. Dingle's trapped. Get it to Dante Bright. It is Norval. Canby on the bench again. So it's Clark, Padilla, Dingle, Bright, Norval. Charlton Clark. Way long. Dingle bails him out and scores.
Well, he got inside. Huey Butch was standing there, and he just kind of maneuvered around to the inside of him. John Chaney was really upset with him on that play.
that. 3 points for Dana Dingle. Minutemen by 6, coming up on 5:20 to go.
UMass in his own defense. Bit of a matchup here.
Derek Petit up and under. Goes to the glass. Can't get it. Hot contact and letting him play.
Nice pass.
And he got hammered. The dish, you're right. Leonard Stewart. Good interior passing, getting it to Mark Jackson.
It was almost as if Stewart wanted to say, I'm getting rid of this thing. I don't want it anymore. I'll give it to somebody else in here.
I got the baseline behind me. I got trees in front of me. I got nowhere to go. The Cheney jacket, mark it down at the 5:08 mark. Now you know John's ready.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he is just torqued up now.
Tie is loose. He's ready to roll. Yeah, it took us, what, almost 15 minutes to get to it.
That's amazing. That may be that's probably a record for this tournament. Meanwhile, Mr. Cool at the other end, John Calipari, but inside the fire, you know it's crazy.
Sounds like Brooks Brothers tonight, huh?
Yeah. 4-point lead for the Minutemen. Camby still on the bench. Foul on Austin.
You know, sometimes, David, it amazes me how officials call a basketball game. I'm not saying that was a wrong call. You know what? That was the right call. It was a foul. But I'm telling you, the last possession down here for Temple, there were 4 or 5 calls as hard a hit as what we just saw at the top of that free throw line.
The exact case John Cheney is pleading right now to Gene Manji, as Camby is back in the game. Under 5 to go. 26-22. UMass. Contact there. Dante Gray. Oh, no basket. No basket interference there. Camby with another bucket. He's got 6.
Boy, that was a pretty play. Nice timing. Marcus right there with the one-hand dunk. Did he get up?
Steve Jackson can answer. Huey Futch. 6-point game. Temple ball.
Massachusetts is doing a pretty good job of keeping the ball away from the inside on Temple's offense.
Temple calls a 20-second timeout. They'll have 21 seconds left on the shot clock when they resume play.
Well, I would hate to go into that huddle if I knew the coach, John Cheney, was on me. Could have been an offensive call right there. Watch this play by Camby. Nice. Got around Jackson. One of the reasons I think Marcus Camby should be player of the year just because of plays like that. He is so quick to the basket.
Hey, everybody, see the NCAA basketball pairings first on ESPN. The 96 men's and women's tournament selection specials live at 6:27. Mark that time down. We'll have in-depth analysis from Chris Fowler, joined by analysts Dick Vitale and Digger Phelps, and then the NCAA women's selection special presented by State Farm. And we'll let you know where everybody's going in the 64-team tournament. Men and women. Petit fouled by Padilla.
You know, with Iowa beating Purdue today, that could change that #1 seeding selection. Kansas with the opportunity to win that Big 8 tournament if they get in there. I think obviously Kansas should get that #1 seed to go along with the ones that everybody has pretty much conceded.
Fred, you could have made a great case for Purdue until this loss today.
Absolutely.
Derek Petit, his brother, plays for the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. Tony Petit.
Excuse me, Dave. I was going to say, just for a second, I wanted to say, I think somebody who played themselves maybe into this tournament at the end of the year has been Clem Haskins of Minnesota. They had a big win today against Illinois, and they've played about as well as anybody in that Big Ten for the last 3 weeks of the season.
Petit makes it a 28-23 game. UMass leading, 4:32 to go. UMass trying to beat Temple for the 3rd time this season.
Backcourt trap coming after Padilla, and they got the turnover.
Yes, they did. Mark Jackson takes over for the Owls.
Dana Dingle couldn't handle the ball out front. Got it back. Down 5.
Stewart looking for Petit.
Haven't heard much out of Petit tonight.
No, not at all. Get it to him. Not great position. Gets a shot up. Tip by Jackson. Mark Jackson with the tip. 28-25. Right to Trevieso.
Pressure begin to bother Massachusetts a little bit.
Extending. Open space, Trevieso. Knocked down. And here come the Owls. Owls down 3. Stewart, 4-3. Way short. Jackson, a gimme. John Calipari with a quick timeout. It's a 1-point game. 13 points and 6 boards for Mark Jackson.
I want to tell you what, the barometer went up to the top over there on that timeout. Whoa, did John Calipari get upset? Watch the air ball underneath, and Jackson come up with it. Short, right there to gather it in. And John Calipari almost left completely out of this building.
And you know why? Because Stewart was so wide open. And the fact that nobody laid a glove on Mark Jackson. Temple keeping it close. You want to talk about that beating somebody 3 times in a season? Is that I mean, a lot of times you talk about how difficult that can be.
Well, yeah, I think it probably is. But the thing that's more important right now, I think, for John Calipari is the fact that his club doesn't look like they're very focused. I think they've lost their concentration the last 3 or 4 minutes. And as a result of Temple's half-court defense, they've done a nice job at trapping, getting some turnovers, but they've lost their concentration inside. They were able to keep the ball away from those big guys, and now, all of a sudden, with the play of Cunningham and also Jackson in there, causing Massachusetts some problems.
They had a stretch like that last night, but Dante Bright started a 13-2 run second half against GW. That gave the unit for Minutemen a victory in the semifinals last night.
They got another turnover. That half-court trap pressure is really bothering Massachusetts.
This is Lamond Adams. Walked on, who's also a cornerback on the football team. Hit a big 3 against St. Bonaventure to end the first half. Check that against Xavier. Correct myself there. Remember that was the last play of the first half. Lamond Adams with a big play. 28-27. UMass by 1. John Chaney's club on the comeback.
Right now they need to get something going defensively because Temple's being able to get the ball inside. I said they've lost their concentration. I think they have.
Mark Jackson with 13 points. Number 25 for Temple has been very effective. Bernard Stewart to inbound to Lamond Adams. Temple going to try to get some time with Adams in the backcourt. Clutch on the bench for a little bit. Check that. Here's Huey right now. Van Alsten's on the bench. Travieso loose ball. They'll wait for help and they'll reset.
Travieso with another good defensive play.
Padilla kicks it back. Here's Dingle baseline. Dingle gets it.
That's a big basket for Mass. They got a little bit of the momentum back. Temple was making a serious run and getting the lead here. It was a defensive play on the part of Travieso that got them back.
Under 2:30 to go in a 3-point UMass game. Last time Temple beat UMass February 23rd of 95 at McGonigal Hall here in Philly, 72-63. Stewart.
You cannot shake Dingle.
Sure. Big bucket right there. That's an impressive basket given Dingle's ability on the defensive end. Here's Tyrone Weeks. Diaz gets right into the defense. Huey Putz got a piece of it. Loose ball. Weeks. Tyrone Weeks chases it down and scores. Got his own minutes. Well done by Tyrone Weeks. 32-29 UMass.
Nice to have a guy like that you can reach over on, pull him off the bench and put in there and give some of your regular guys a blow. Tyrone Weeks has put in some good numbers this year for Massachusetts.
Playing with the shiner and everything. Looked like he was been at the Blue Horizon for a club fight. North Broad Street, not far from here. Here's Jackson. He wants to go at it with Campbell. Underneath. Off the glass. No. And it's Temple ball. Well, Dante Bright back into the game. Charlton Clark coming back in.
You know, Dave, I really understand him trying to take the ball to Camby to force him to get into foul trouble, all right? But Camby's a smart player. He's not about to go in there and put himself in a position where he's going to commit fouls. He's such a good shot blocker, and he's smart about the way he does it.
Post with fatigue. Camby did not get the block. Rebound Travieso. UMass with a 32-29 lead. A minute to go, first half. Dante Bright missed everything, but gets it back. Lost it on the way up, the finger bothering him. Camby kept it alive, and Leonard Stewart for Temple takes over.
Good point, Dave. I think maybe it did bother him. He lost the ball, then lost it again when he turned around and went back up. Adams all by himself out front with Clark. Temple trying to shake somebody free inside.
Temple, which scored only 12 points at halftime in the first meeting, 29 in the second meeting. They're at 29 now. Ivy challenging off the glass. There's contact, and there's a foul against Dante Bright. Stay with us here at ESPN coming up at halftime. Chris Fowler, Digger Phelps with our halftime show. Take a look at the Minnesota-Illinois. Fantastic finish. Good matchup in the final Southwest Conference Tournament Championship game, Texas and Texas Tech. And a recap of the ACC tournament.
Wake Forest, Georgia Tech are going to face up again.
Good matchup.
It certainly is. Hey, that's another club that's really played well at the end of the year, is Georgia Tech. They came on and won the season title down there. In fact, it's the only title they've won since they joined the ACC where they did not have to share it. Bobby Crimmins has got his team playing just about as good a basketball as they played all year. You know, they were at 1.6 and 7.
Yeah, that's right. I saw him. I've seen him in New York at the holiday, I think it was the preseason NIT. And they had their moments before they really defined themselves of late, right? The last month and a half or so?
Yeah, but it's been Stephon Marbury, really, and Matt Harpering, two guys, and actually Drew Berry, too, has really picked this club up and carried it. It's a very solid team and dangerous, very dangerous club.
I heard his father, Rick, driving into the game today complaining, I didn't take a shot the first 12 minutes.
Travieso will take a shot.
And he nails it. Another three. His third three. Fourth three of this, the first half. 5-point lead for UMass. Lamont Adams. When they come out and challenge him, he lost it. Camby with two. He let it rip from there, and he had Travieso down floor. Nevertheless, a 5-point halftime lead for the #2 team in the country, the UMass Minutemen. Carmelo Travieso getting it done from behind the arc. And we send you to our halftime festivities and Chris Fowler.
Dave and Larry, thank you. As we expected, much more competitive.
Turnovers, 5 for UMass, and from the arc, UMass 4 for 8. Temple guards, Larry, interesting numbers. We look at William Cunningham. The Temple guards did not come up with an assist.
Jackson with an outstanding first half at 13 points, 6 rebounds.
Cunningham, Jackson, starting on the inside. Cunningham to Jackson. He powers in, and he gets a roll.
Nash opened up with a zone defense that time. They were in a 2-3 matchup, and Temple went right straight inside to Jackson.
Padilla, Dingle, Travieso, Camby, and Bright. Travieso, not this time. He'll stay right here. Jackson, Cunningham, Leonard Stewart, LeVan Alston, and Huey Futch for the Owls starting the second half.
Talk about a role reversal. That time, Temple opened up in a man-to-man defense.
That in Temple for years. Don Chaney, Don Casey, Harry Litwack known for these great zones.
Now they're matching up. Camby with a good screen, trying to get Travieso free.
Right to Stewart. Owls take over.
Mass has had a lot of success going right into the middle of that zone defense, and Travieso made a bad pass.
Leonard Stewart can't get it. Travieso rebounds. Edgar Padilla. UMass 30-1 on the season. Coming in off of 4 straight wins. The last loss was February 24th to George Washington, 86-76. They avenged that loss last night. Dante Bright, maybe the finger's still bothering him. But the tape is not on his hand, but still showing the effects. He's not looked good his last 3 shots.
Nice save underneath there. Temple's getting it back, and they're hustling Mass right now. Huey Futch with a nice play.
Dante Bright shooting just 3 for 10 on the game. They go to Jackson on the post. The left hand, he's already hit one left hand, and Camby with the foul. Camby with 2 impressive block shots in the first half.
Well, John Calipari is very upset with this call by Larry Limbo on the inside. Look here. A lot of ball. Hard to tell from that angle. He must have gotten him with the body. I think Marcus might be a little upset about it, too.
Camby's first foul. That's the good news for John Calipari and company. Mark Jackson.
Watch again. Now here's the move inside. See, Jackson's got him right there. Got an awful lot of ball.
Camby agrees with him. Jackson shot just 3 for 11 the previous meeting on February 11th at the Mullins Center. 3 for 11, 7 for 11 at the line for 13 points. This trip makes it a 2-point game. inside. WSO set up beautifully. Makes it pay off.
Same once again. Padilla penetrates, drives deep into that zone defense, and the kick out. Travieso threes. Nothing but threes, Rain.
He's got 15 points. 5 for 9 shooting.
Look at him out there on Austin. Travieso all over the screen. Canby with a little help. Good defenders. Both these guys are excellent defenders.
Ivy inside to Jackson.
There he goes. He's wheeling and dealing.
Draws a double team. Working hard. Left hand and scores. Mark Jackson.
See, he starts backing him down in with that wide body, and Canby gets so far underneath the basket, he can't block the shot.
Poke flip shot makes it a 3-point game again.
Good move by Mark Jackson.
Travieso. Dante Bright. Still having a hard way to go. He's 3 for 11.
But they've got an opening in that middle of that Temple zone. They're finding it. They're exploiting it. They're just not finishing with good shots.
Jackson protecting the ball. They'll reset up top. Venus Norman will come in to get Canby the next dead ball.
Here he goes again. With the back again.
It's inside. Lost the handle. Loose ball. Here's Jackson. Spin. Lays it up and in.
See, you get that close, Dave, you can't block the shot. It's too close to the rim.
1-point game. Canby flashes. He can't get it. Rebound. 2 hands to Mark Jackson. Out with a chance to take the lead. John Cheney.
John's working that sideline, isn't he?
He is trying to get the desired set. 8-10 tournament championship game. UMass and Temple once again. Cunningham posted. Wheeling, glass, and score. Temple with the lead, 39-38. Padilla lost the handle. Should be a foul, and they're going to call. Oh, I thought they were going to call a foul.
You know what?
Jump ball.
I want to tell you what. One official had his arm in the air, and that's what John Calipari's upset about. I think Gene Manji was ready to call a foul, and one official had already called a tie-up.
Got a TV timeout. 15:48. Mark Jackson wheeling and dealing on the inside. He's got Temple in front, 5 points. First time tonight. Padilla. Throw it away. Austin. They got numbers with Stewart. Stewart is there. He'll go in, and he had it blocked, but a foul on Dante Bright.
Watch what happens here. You know what's happening? They're losing their concentration. I talked about in the first half. Edgar Padilla never does that. He looked away on that ball, and that's the reason he lost it. Temple's going to get a chance to add a couple of more free throws to their lead. That guy is a solid guard. He just doesn't make those kind of mistakes, and that was just simply not looking the pass right into his hands.
Sure enough, Padilla came in with 199 assists and just 82 turnovers in the game and the season. Bernard Stewart, Philadelphia Player of the Year a couple of years ago at Simon Gratz High School. His brothers, Larry and Steven, were good players down at Coppin State in Baltimore. Larry, of course, spent some time in the NBA. Stewart extends the Temple lead to 3.
Minutemen have got a battle on their hands here.
Yes, they do. UMass has won 3 straight and 5 of 6 against Temple. Last loss. Boy, I tell you what, passes. There's another lapse right there for the Minutemen. Mistakes we haven't seen them make in a long time.
Not a good sign for Massachusetts.
Jackson against Tyrone Weeks. Padilla drops the double team.
Good ball movement.
Open man, Stewart, 3, good.
Well, this Philly crowd is charged up, aren't they?
Yes, they are. 22nd timeout for UMass. And the turnovers starting to mount for the Minutemen right here, Larry.
Well, watch
once again. Now, Weeks is trying to go in. He just simply lost the basketball. Padilla lost one earlier. At that time, Weeks dropped one off his foot. The result, a bomb, a three, bottom of the net. Owls leading by 6.
Tyrone Weeks, you see him down the bottom right of your screen, been challenged by his coach, and he's upset. John Calipari at that timeout made a motion to Weeks, saying, hey, you're going to allow that guy to, Mark Jackson, to throw elbows and abuse you off the blocks? And right now, Tyrone's going to get a chance to come back. I think we'll have a tiger in our hands when he comes back in the game in a few minutes.
He's going to have all that frustration welled up inside of him. By the time he gets out there, they're going to have a tiger let out of the cage.
Oh, it's going to be something. Just under 15 to play. The shooting, the numbers for Temple have improved dramatically. Owls on an 11-0 run, leading 44-38. Jingle, Dante Bright baseline. Still can't buy one. He does get the loose ball, but a foul on the play. Who's it against? It's against Temple. Dante Bright started the game hitting 3 of his first 4, and he's 0 for 8 since.
Dave, we've had a very physical basketball game to this point. I'm going to be interested to see how this game is called the rest of the way.
Good point.
You know, because I think maybe they're going to try to get a handle on this thing, because we've seen a lot of bumping, a lot of guys taking some shots underneath.
Dante Bright, boy, you talk about a kid that comes back way to battle with the 3 to make it 44-41 Temple.
Right at 19 points against GW in their win last night. They need to have somebody step up a little bit right now. Camby has kind of been quiet this second half.
Travieso picking up Austin. He's just dogging it. Good job.
Look at that footwork. Good move inside by Austin.
Blocked by Camby. Here comes UMass. Maybe that's the spark they need. Travieso, quick look. Bright challenging. Camby with the flush.
Nice play. Dante Bright with a great pass.
It's a 1-point Temple lead.
Well, they got down and they came right back, didn't they? Huh? Answered the call.
They flipped the switch. Here's Jackson.
What's a sign of a good club? You know, when you're down and you're being hammered, they didn't panic. They kept their composure and they came right back.
Austin. Back to LeVan Austin for 3. Short, kept alive, tipped up Cunningham, couldn't get it, rebound Camby. UMass on the run.
Travieso corner.
He's set, it's in the air, bingo! Carmelo Travieso's got 18, UMass back on top, he's 6 for 10. And a foul.
Hey, you know what happened? They came out of that timeout and they got aggressive. I'm telling you, they got aggressive. Temple was taking it to them. They were taking it to the woodshed. John Chaney was laying it on him. And Mass came right back. Here's the foul. You can see Padilla commit the foul, but that's aggressiveness. That's a Massachusetts team we haven't seen for the first 25 minutes of this game. John Calipari's into it. Big into it.
Trains coming down the track, and the engineers got that baby hot and fired up. 13:05 to go, and a 2-point UMass lead now.
I tell you, whatever he said to him in the huddle, it's working.
8-0 run by the Minutemen.
Austin complaining to the official about Travieso holding it.
Rigoberto Munoz is in the game now. Good defender, he'll get after you.
Well, Travieso now. He's going to fight around the screen. Good help that time by Bright.
Ivy with 11 on the shot clock, right through the hands of Petit. Turnover, here comes UMass. Padilla. They'll set it up. Padilla with the stroke. He hits the 3.
This club is so good. So tough. So resilient.
UMass with a whole bunch of fans here in Philly come right back with an 11-0 run. It's UMass 49, Temple 44.
Watch Padilla. The look. Nobody there. Nobody challenges him. The release. The net. Well, these guards do it. Get it done for Mass. You want leadership. Look to your guards.
Edgar Padilla last night shot the ball 4 times, hit 3 of them. Tonight, the economics continue in Georgia Tech. The ACC Championship, that's tomorrow at 1 p.m. from the Greensboro Coliseum. That should be a beauty. Marquee players, Stephon Marbury. and Tim Duncan. Up next after that, we've got Michigan State and Indiana in the Big Ten, followed by the Big West Championship of full plate. Great basketball championship week here on ESPN. UMass has made its last 4 from beyond the arc. 8 for 14 on the day. Temple 4 for 7.
And look what they've done. Full court pressure. Look who's bringing it up. Mark Jackson.
And Mark Jackson just knocked down a UMass player.
Dante Bright went to the floor. Padilla just missed the steal.
Ivy gets inside. The team blocked by Camby. His 4th. UMass is red hot. 11-0 run and looking for more.
They've got Temple reeling right now.
Clark, Padilla. Clark challenging, got hit. He'll shoot a couple at the line. What a wake-up call. My goodness gracious. Now what's Nunez and Jackson doing? Come on, keep the intensity, but stay with it, boys. Stay with it.
No reason for this. Come on, play the game. Play basketball. I tell you what, the adrenaline's been flowing in that Massachusetts huddle and also on the floor in the last 3 minutes.
Well, these teams have had their fireworks and histrionics over the years, and who could forget the coaches? John Chaney going after John Calipari a couple of years ago up at UMass.
I don't think I've seen a game this year where I've seen a club get hammered as hard as Massachusetts did and then come back as hard as they did.
That's exactly the immediate response. A lot of times you see a team build to it, all of a sudden, bingo, there it was.
Here's a free throw situation. You see Temple 8 of 14. Massachusetts has only been to the line 6 times today.
Charlton Clark, freshman from St. Raymond's High School in the Bronx, broke his foot in the season opener against Kentucky, missed 14 games, and still not quite back to form yet, but he's going to be a great one.
Probably a lot of Massachusetts fans around the country would be very, very concerned about the way Mass have been playing up until that point. And all of a sudden, they turned it. Well, I'll tell you what, you got to be breathing a little easier. He's got that ready.
13-0 run. I tell you what, that is as good a response as you'll see from anybody in the country. 51-44, and John Chaney needs that last time out.
Well, they had a 13-0 run. They've done it in 2 minutes and 30 seconds after Temple had taken that 6-point lead. The Minutemen responded and responded very quickly out of that timeout. I really think it was the conversation, the exchange between John Calipari and Tyrone Weeks that got it going. I mean, it was something that you can see Weeks right there. He's laughing right now, but I'll tell you what, there was a little heat exchanged in that huddle. And I think when those guys came out, all of a sudden they were a different team.
Yes, they were. John Robick and a couple of the other coaches, Bruiser Flynn, had to hold Weeks back. He was lit up. 51-44. Get it inside to Williams Cunningham. He wheels it. Camby is sent back. His 5th.
So good with that timing.
Look at a matchup here. You got Dana Dingle fronting Mark Jackson.
You know what? It's not a bad idea, though. Tell you what, for the top off, if you front him and he gets it, you got Camby on the other side. You know, let the lob come in there and count on Camby to come on the backside with a little defensive help. Good plan.
5 different Minutemen have scored in this 13-0 run.
May not be over yet.
You bet.
Here comes the trap by Temple.
Started by this man right here, Dante Bright with the 3.
What they had success with that
ball.
foot.
Yeah, drag the foot. Second guessed himself. He thought he had something and then saw that he didn't. It was too late.
John Calipari upset with Dante Bright for not being in position. I think maybe Padilla was looking for him to make the cut out on the wing and he wasn't there. But it will be registered as a turnover to Mr. Padilla. Not
Rare.
Mr. Bright.
51-44. UMass on top. Clark sprinting at Austin. Talking to him. Ivy way outside. Gets it inside to Jackson. Puts his way in. Lost it. Austin. Short jumper is good. For Van Austin. Austin with his first bucket of the day. Into an 11-0 run. Right to the goal. Couldn't get it. Rebound.
Good block out inside that time by Temple. They kept Camby away. Jason Ivey just kind of screamed him out of there.
The T giving Temple some more minutes. Number 50. Flu-ridden last night. From dehydration. Stewart. Ivy backs it out. They've got 9 on the shot clock. T lost it. Taken away by Dingle. Here comes UMass Padilla, and Austin fouls it.
Good foul by Austin. I think Padilla was on a breakaway on his way to the basket. Watch Ivy with the basketball trying to go inside, and simply Petit losing the basketball, and you can see right here Dingle come up with it, kick it out. Padilla's there, and the foul. Good job by Austin.
Tyrone Weeks is back into the game. Travieso back. Nunez takes a seat, as does Camby.
Look at this Temple club right now. They look a little winded to me, Dave. They look a little tired.
I agree. Well, Huey Futch comes in for Temple. Derek Petit takes a seat.
Comes that half-court trap again by Temple.
He's helped Temple get back into the game. This was very effective earlier. Padilla. Boy, he will kill you. You give him room, it's over.
Well, the thing about it is he's not the designated three-point shooter. Travieso is, but Padilla can shoot. You got to guard him.
You cannot play him cheap. Edgar Padilla on the day with 6 points. Both are threes. Both are field goals and three-pointers. 54-46. Coming up on 9 minutes to go. Dave Sims and Larry Conley. A-10 Conference Tournament Championship. And Mark Jackson powers home for another deuce. He's got 22.
Hey, good recognition. Camby's out of the game. Take advantage of it.
Boy, he drew a crowd that time. Dante Bright lost it. He said he was shoved, and they're going to get Camby right back into the game.
You know what? I'm not sure he wasn't right. He lost his balance down through there. He was ready to go to the basket. Somebody just gave him a nice little nudge toward the baseline.
So it's UMass ball. They had to separate Travieso and Austin. Austin thought it was Temple ball. He's trying to take the ball away from him. Allen down with Padilla. Camby. Travieso way downtown.
These guards will kill you. If you don't guard them defensively, they will chew you up.
All threes for Carmelo Travieso. He's 7 for 11, and Temple's heard this tune before. Coming in, he was 12 for 22 in the 2 previous games. Went 8 for 11 the last matchup on February 11th. They get a foul against the UMass. Travieso with the foul. Number 2 on him. 14 fouls, just 3 team fouls against Temple right now at the 8:25 mark. Mark Jackson leading Temple with 22 points. Travieso 21 points for UMass. Inbound to Leonard Stewart. Weeks all over. Look at the forearm. He's got it in his back.
He's not allowing him to get inside. He's not going to let him walk him back into that lane.
Ivy shakes free. Jackson kept it alive. Camby's got the ball and a foul on number 31 for Temple. That's Lamont Adams.
That was a tough break for Temple. That ball all deserved. It really should have gone in. But there's a lot of them that should have gone in that didn't.
This has been one heck of a ball game. Temple took control, took a lead, and next thing you know, UMass went on a 13-0 run to take a stranglehold on the game. Here's Camby, turn, here's Weeks, and he was fouled. John Calipari trying to work, saying it was an intentional foul. And
Massachusetts looks like they've got the composure totally in control now. Look at Camby. Look at this nice pass. Good drop down inside. Weeks going to the basket. Smart move by Jackson to commit the foul.
John Robick and Bruiser Flint doing a good job shielding John Calipari. He's working kind of hard over there, and he wanted even more off of that call. Weeks at the line.
Dave, I've always thought it's a good test of a club late in the season that when they get really down and the club makes a run at them, a team really puts them in a position where they've got a chance to lose a game, to see how they respond. Your point about the quickness of the response by Massachusetts, I think, is right on target. Because this Mass team was in danger, I think, maybe of letting this one get away.
Indeed, 7:54 to go. A 10-point UMass lead on plays like this. The second three of the day by Edgar Padilla.
What does Bob Vila do for fun?
If you're not ready.
Tyrone Weeks got some good size. He can go down there and battle. He's 6'7", weighs 260. Whereas Jackson right up there around the 270, 275 mark.
Well, they're going to use what they have, too. A lot of pressure here by UMass. Try to get Jackson as the bailout guy. Just get it over. Stewart, Austin, and the little guy, Lamont Adams, the backcourt.
Weeks again with that arm in the middle of the back of Jackson. He still went up with it.
Stewart inside. Whoa, man, bodies all over the place. What a war inside.
Once again, now look at Tyrone Weeks right there. See Jackson trying to back him in. Now, once he's got his shoulders down low enough underneath that elbow, he can maneuver himself in there closer to that basket. And that's what he was trying to do. Weeks will keep putting that arm out there until the officials tell him not to.
He'll do it gladly, too, because he needs every weapon he can use. Here comes more bulk for Temple. William Cunningham, 6'11", 250. Lamont, what a trade that is. Lamont Adams is 5'9", 195. Ivy with the hook shot is good.
Good move inside. Went right up over the big guys of Mass.
UMass by 8. Approaching 7 minutes to go. UMass 30-0, winners of 4 straight games. Temple 19-11. Weeks fading, can't get it. Dingle is right there. Boy, he out-muscled Huey Clutch for that one. Check that, Van Alston. 4 boards for Dingle.
Double team, good job by Dingle.
There he is open again. Treviso couldn't get it. Cunningham wins it. Foul Camby. He can't believe it. Second foul on Marcus Camby.
Edgar Padilla and Carmelo Travieso doing a good job today. With their backcourt here, you can see the way they perform. Travieso with 21 points. Padilla 6 points, 5 assists, 5 steals. Now that is a floor game.
Get it into Jackson.
He says, I'll take it. Nobody wants to come and get it.
Inside to Cunningham. Camby's got 2 fouls. He's taken away. Weeks for UMass up by 8.
He waited too long. You know, he was trying to battle just Camby. You can't just battle Camby. The other guy's going to come in. They're going to gather around you.
Now Cunningham picks up a foul down at this end, battling against Camby.
Sometimes, Dave, guys get into their mind that they're just playing a one-on-one game, and the only guy they're playing against is the guy that's up there facing them. John Chaney probably wants to tell Cunningham, hey, let's move the basketball because there are 4 other guys getting ready to come to you. You've got the thing they want, the basketball.
16 fouls for both clubs. Neither team's been in the penalty today. Padilla. How about Padilla? Talking about your point earlier, Larry. He's shooting 2 for 3. Here's Weeks inside. He got fouled.
Good movement again by Massachusetts against this Temple zone. They get it inside and they get it to the right guys.
3rd foul on Mark Jackson.
They've got to be very, very careful. Sure enough, you know, with those 3 fouls, they really don't have anybody from an offensive standpoint except rejuvenated William Cunningham.
And you wonder if that if those odds are still going to play off in your favor right now with William Cunningham and Tyrone Weeks. That was the first. Cunningham came in with 245 points in 3 years and had a big night last night. And has done well today. Cunningham with 8 points in this ballgame.
Dave Bright waiting to report he's going to get Tyrone Weeks if he makes his free throw.
Weeks shot 2 for 6 last night from the field against George Washington. Now look at the reception he gets from John Calipari this time. I mean, the last time he came out of the game, the young man was chewed up. But the response since then has been to UMass's liking. 10-point lead for the Minutemen.
Nice pass by Jackson.
Alston got it to Cunningham. Shoots over Camby. Can't get it. Rebound Dante Bright. Padilla, Travieso is open in the corner.
Can he ever alter that shot? Cunningham was thinking about it the whole time he turned and looked at that basket.
Under 6 to go, Larry.
Good job by Dingle to come out and help Padilla. You got to guard trouble out there on a double team. Somebody's got to be open.
Travieso, nice lead. Camby, oh man, Camby got hammered. Camby, after he had lost the ball, had his head knocked. Grabbed by Cunningham. Watch this.
Travieso into the middle of the zone defense again. Look at the drop-off pass right here. Camby trying to go up strong. He just lost the basketball. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Cunningham just grabbed him by the head.
4 fouls on Cunningham.
You know, if he lets that go, that ball's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be their ball. It's going to be Temple's possession.
Camby, 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocked shots last night against George Washington.
9 points, 4 rebounds, 5 blocks. When the night's over, he'll have his 15, 16, 17.
That's right.
7, 8 rebounds.
Extends to a 12-point lead, biggest lead of the evening for UMass. And a foul on Dante Bright against Ivy. And that's his 4th. And that'll put Temple in the 1-on-1 situation. Check that as 3rd. Princeton hammered the other night here at the Palestra across the street here in Philadelphia. Looking good early against Pennsylvania, Mississippi Valley State.
It's kind of an interesting situation in the Ivy League. Those two clubs are playing it off to get into the tournament, huh?
Princeton lost twice to Penn. They tied 12-2 records in the Ivy League, but they're playing it off tonight to see who goes to the tournament.
Pretty soon we get the NBA, best 4 or 7.
Jason Ivey's been a solid performer over his 4 years with the Temple Owls, a senior out of Gadsden, Florida.
Very versatile player. Can handle a press. He bangs well inside. Had a good career for John Chaney.
When we first came here, he basically would just retrieve the misses of McKee and Eddie Jones and Aaron McKee.
There weren't many of those.
And that's right. 10-point UMass lead. Minutemen have won 5 straight regular season A-10 titles, going for the 5th straight tournament title. Travieso, not this time. And Ivy with the rebound.
You know what? Ivy with a nice push-off, too. He got Dante Bright, pushed him right out of bounds.
Get a new clock on the kick by Dante Bright.
If UMass wins this game today, they'll give them 5 straight conference titles, season titles, and tournament titles. Only one other team's been able to do that. North Carolina State, when they were a member of the Southern Conference. That goes back to 1947 to 51. Wow.
From the 5-minute mark, 10-point game, UMass leading. The story of this game is the 13-0 run by the Minutemen after Temple had taken charge. Mark Jackson demanding the ball. 8 on the shot clock. Ivy lets her rip from there. Cunningham had it, lost it. Here comes UMass. Game in control for the moment right now. And Minutemen building on it. Dante Bright right inside. Little short. Camby tried to tip it home. We'll stay right here. One out on Temple.
Okay, one of the things that they've been able to do, I'm talking about they being Massachusetts, they've been able to get inside on Temple's zone today, but there have been a number of shots they've not been able to convert. And I'm talking about wide open 6 to 8 foot chippies right in front or right off to the side that they should have been able to convert.
Lamont Adams is back in, number 31 for Huey Futch. It's amazing the emotion of this game cooled off. The one run and then the response by UMass, and now UMass sort of matter-of-factly just taking care of business right now.
It's been totally diffused.
Good ball movement. Good look. Great look. What a play.
How about that triangle passing? Padilla inside the Bright to Dingle.
12-point lead for UMass. And the clock very much on the Minutemen side. It's coming up on the 4-minute mark.
Well, that was great ball movement.
I think they got Mark Jackson. A little flipper. points on Padilla. My mistake. His 4th. Jerry Donahue with the call. I saw him put up a 2. I thought he was talking about Mark Jackson, because Jackson's been making his presence known, but Edgar picks up his 4th. Jackson's going to shoot at the line. Did you see that one, Larry? Off the ball.
Didn't see it. I'm usually watching stuff off the ball, too. I have a tendency to do that, and I didn't see it.
Jackson makes the first. Charlton Clark going to come in and give Padilla a rest with 3:58 to go.
I tell you what, giving Travieso and Padilla a rest is not something John Calipari's had the luxury to do this year. These two guys have averaged about 36 minutes a game, right at 36 minutes. And as a tandem, I don't think there's another set of guards that have averaged more minutes this year for any college team than these two guys have.
I'll buy that. And it's remarkable. Well, we'll talk about that when we come back. 3:58 to go. 10-point lead for UMass.
Of this club, and I'm talking about Massachusetts, is their ability to pass. Look at this great ball movement inside. Padilla to Bright to Dingle, and an easy layup. Boy, was that terrific passing. I love to see teams that can pass the ball well.
That was gorgeous. Here's Dante Bright and a 15-3 assist number. Remarkable. You know, coming in, Larry, in the 2 previous games, UMass had 41 assists to 10 by Temple, and that trend continues.
Temple trying to get something going here with a press. Full court.
Under 4 to go, and they break it. Bright will back it out. Charlton Clark, Dana Dingle, Camilo Travieso, Dante Bright, Marcus Camby for the Minutemen. Ivy, Jackson, Stewart, Adams, and Alston for Temple. Travieso had ruined those.
They're going to hold on. It's going to be 35-second possession from here on out.
Camby off the glass.
Pretty. Real pretty.
Marcus Camby with 12 points.
What a safety valve, huh? Just drop it into the center and let him turn around and shoot the little J off the glass.
He's pretty nimble. Marcus Camby, it's an understatement. Jackson tried to go up and take it away. Showed the ball, and UMass made him pay for it.
You know, he didn't block it. He slapped it away when the ball was down around his waist. Good hand. Here's the ball.
Knocked away right to Clark. And he's fouled by LeVan Austin with 2:57 to go, and UMass leading by 12. It'll be remembered for a while up at UMass, the 13-0 run, which turned this game around. Temple had taken a lead, and then UMass came right back. Pitched a shutout over about a 2-minute and 20-second period to regain the lead.
And they just got the basketball back.
Right inside. Dingle had it, couldn't control it. And a turnover by UMass.
Hey, as much as John Chaney's patrolled that sideline, John Calipari's worn out some leather tonight, too.
There's no question. That 13-0 run.
Gotta be a walk.
Good enough. And here is Dingle with the flip. He scores.
Loves to shoot. They gotta play. They gotta keep playing. It's 5-on-4.
They better take advantage of it. I don't think they see it. And Adams calls timeout. Boy, that bailed out UMass, huh? Get 2:24 to go in a 14-point UMass ball game here in Philadelphia.
It's a beautiful day at McDonald's as Mrs. Foley steps.
Beats Connecticut tonight. I think they deserve to have a #1 seed.
Good argument for that, given if they do win, it would be their second win against UConn, should they pull it off.
John Thompson's club has played very, very well this year, and they seem to play better in big ball games.
Princeton holding off Penn right now up at Lehigh, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. This game was turned around. We mentioned a 13-0 run by the Minutemen, Larry. That became part of, that was the foundation of a 24-6 run by the Minutemen after Temple had had a 44-38 lead with 14:54 to go and a Stewart 3.
David, this Temple team is amazing to me. You know, they started this year out at 3-6. And they have played so well at the end of the season here. I mean, I think this is a club that could be very dangerous in this tournament. They're probably going to end up with an 8, 9, maybe a 10 seed somewhere in that area. And this is not a team that is an 8, 9, 10 seed. They're better than that.
They can scare you. There's no doubt about that. See Villanova, Kansas, Virginia Tech, and until about 9 minutes ago, UMass. Adams. Padilla almost stole it. Stewart. Big launch. Couldn't get it. Canby, look out.
Nice save.
Boy, body's all over the place.
Boy, did Ivy make a nice play laying on the floor.
Yes, he did. The shooting dropped for the Temple Owls. They came in 10th in the Atlantic 10, 38.9%. Larry, look at that last 12 minutes. Ouch.
Well, 3 out of 15, and a lot of that has to do with the way the Massachusetts played their defense. They really came out after that huddle, that timeout that we talked about and we've enumerated so many times here in the second half.
Alston gets one, 70-56. This is Temple's 9th appearance in the A-10 title game. Right now, this one in control of the Minutemen of UMass with pretty good representation down here in Philadelphia with their Refuse to Lose t-shirts and signs. Watching Marcus Canby and company.
Well, I think Massachusetts got this one pretty well socked away, and they're going to get their #1 seed. If, in fact, they send them to the East, they got to send Kentucky, I would think, to the Midwest. Then where do you send Connecticut? I mean, this is an interesting thing. You send them to the Southeast. They went to the West last year.
Right.
And I think maybe they may end up back there again this year. But, you know, tomorrow's a big game for Kansas. If they happen to win that game tomorrow, then I think they move into a slot to challenge Georgetown for that #1 seed if Georgetown wins tonight. So a lot of things still up in the air about where these seedings are going to occur.
It's going to be a lot of nervous next 24 hours. Actually, a little less than 24 hours. About 22 hours from now.
All the office pools will be set up.
Yeah, buddy. Canby takes over. Final minute 20. Austin gives the foul on Padilla. John Cheney was pretty funny afterwards, after the win last night, talking about, geez, I wish we had lost. I'm tired of UMass really putting it on me. But they have done that indeed. This is one outstanding group as Mark Jackson takes his seat. Got a hug and a kiss from his coach. John Cheney emptying his bench right now. Jackson led the Owls with 24 points. He had 10 rebounds. Marcus Canby takes his seat, and they're calling it 1 for the thumb for UMass. And that is indeed the case.
Quite a year. Well, 2 seasons are over. The 3rd one is about to begin.
That's right. Regular seasons, conference tournament, and now the biggie. Boy, did he impact again. The blocks early helped establish UMass.
Where are those guys? That guy carries those numbers around with him everywhere. He must have 32 in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Certainly he doesn't carry 2 with him.
So with 1:21 to go, Padilla adding to the count at the line.
Take a look at the Temple bench. Very dejected Mark Jackson right there, but he had a good evening.
Wade Cunningham had some good moments here, too. John Rios with the ball, #11. Lamont Adams, 31. William Cunningham, 22. Chris Law is 13 in the game. Jadel Padilla in the game for UMass. He's #11. Playing in the backcourt with his brother. Jadel's the older brother. Jadel is the senior. So 59 seconds to go. Andy McClay into the game for UMass for Edgar Padilla. Big ovation and a hug from his coach. That is one solid ball player.
You bet. I always said and have for years that if you looked at the national champions, the clubs that do well in the NCAA tournament, they've always got good leadership at the guard position. That's something Mass is loaded with this year with those 2 guys.
Burns is in the game now for Temple. Ted Cottrell. They're strong. Damian Reed is in the game. So all these young men getting their names in the box score in the final stages of this ball game. And Goodell Padilla, boy, found Lamont Adams. The last thing he wanted to do. So the UMass bench is empty. And the Temple bench is empty. Everybody has gotten an opportunity to play today. Temple's gone the last 6:25 without a field goal.
A lot of that having to do with that Massachusetts defense, too. Good pressure. They turned up the full court pressure a little bit and caused problems for the Owls.
Tell you what, that 13-0 run, which built a 24-6 run, is going to go down in UMass lore. That was as good an explosion in basketball as I've ever seen.
2.5 minutes. They just turned it up another notch.
Wow, maybe even on top of that. I mean, that was just amazing. Dante Bright, late in the first half, like he jammed his fingers. He struggled shooting. He was the guy that helped start that run.
And then everybody contributed. I mean, they all jumped in. And, you know, this is something you and I talked about when we started the show tonight, when we started this game, was the fact that you don't get to be the #2 team in the country just depending on one guy. That's the reason this Massachusetts club is going to go so far in this tournament. Because they've got a lot of weapons. They've got the great backcourt, which we've talked about so much tonight. We talked about the great center of Marcus Camby, who could be player of the year. Great bookends on the inside. Dana Dingle and Dante Bright. A good, strong, powerful force off the bench in Tyrone Weeks, who tonight probably ignited this whole rally by the fact that he had a conversation with John Calipari coming off the bench. And it was rather animated, I might add, too.
Yes, it was. Chris Fowler, Digger Phelps coming up right after our game. Nunez with the flush. And Tyrone Weeks and Mark Jackson just pushing him around. And after that point, Jackson didn't push Weeks or anybody around after that. They shut him down. And a block by Goodell Padilla, but a second foul with 10.2 seconds to go. It's been another great year for UMass. John Calipari in his 8th year, his 3rd time as A10 Coach of the Year. This will be their 5th A10 tournament title to go along with 5 straight regular season titles. And no question, Larry, as you mentioned, no question a #1 seed.
You know, one of the things, Dave, that happens when you get in the NCAA tournament, you start playing these clubs that you've never seen before, and you're moving along into the tournament. So you have a tendency to rely a great deal on tapes, you know, of games. And sometimes there are some of these teams in the early rounds you haven't even seen, and there are no tapes that exist for these clubs to see.
Yeah, he's going to be a 1 seed playing a 16. They're going to be who? Turnover with 4 seconds to go.
I tell you, the phone lines will be busy tomorrow night when everybody finds out who's playing whom. It'll be coach calling coach. Listen, have you seen this guy? Do you have a tape on this game?
You owe me one.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Carmelo Travieso hit 3 threes, and that ties a tournament record. John Chaney calls a timeout. Further instruction for some of his youngsters with 4 seconds to go. UMass is going to go to 31-1. Temple will drop to 19-12. 5 straight wins for UMass, and Temple's 7-game winning streak will bite the dust. Coming up, that will be a beauty. The Big East Championship from Madison Square Garden. Georgetown against UConn. Last shot and in the air, and it's official. 1 for the thumb for UMass. #1 seed locked up in the 5th A10 tournament championship. 75-61. A convincing win, and they do it with a terrific 13-0 run that built to 24-6.
Terrific basketball game. Look at that. Great respect between coach and opposing players.
That's our story from Philadelphia. For Larry Conley, I'm Dave Sims. Thanks so much for joining us. We send you to Chris Fowler and Digger Phelps to get you ready for the Big East Championship.
They are indeed getting ready and kind of a...
Well, they take the challenge of a spurt. They got the big run. Travieso and Padilla led it. Now what? Providence, baby, #1 seed in the East.
A big 13-zip run after that timeout. Princeton and Penn are playing a special playoff game for the automatic bid in the Ivy League. In Minneapolis, Clem Haskins
on the court. and I wasn't laughing.
Enough to convince the committee. In Providence,
I didn't know how long the drop was. That's why I started grabbing.
My job at Walmart is a people greeter.
Every time we have a baby shower,
No, it was just an accident. I was walking around Marcus to get to the other side of the table there, and I went to support myself on the wall, and there was nothing there, and I just fell. It was probably about 5 feet. If it wasn't for the ladder back there, I would have probably landed on my head because I grabbed onto that. But you know, good thing that was back there, and I was able to grab onto it. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. That's why I kind of started laughing too when I was down there, because I was like, oh my God.
Officially, he has a contusion to his lower back and glutes. After the accident, he went to the locker room to be iced down, and the trainers wanted him to rest there, but he felt too nervous sitting around, so he returned to the practice court and was met with applause and some good-natured ribbing.
He'll be all right. You know, we were laughing about it a little bit. He'll be fine.
I know him pretty well. He's tough, so he's going to be okay, I think.
He's the ultimate jokester. He's the ultimate guy that ribs his teammates and teases the trainer and mimics me. And I said, is this justice or what? My man fell off the stage on national television.
As many minutes as your guards play, how much of a concern is that if his back does tighten up?
Well, it's a concern. If you lose one of your best players, it's a concern at this point in the year.
Do you feel you'll restrict his minutes?
I don't know what we'll do yet. I don't know how bad he's hurt.
It's sore. Not anything that shouldn't let me play tomorrow, but yeah, it's sore.
The trainers are giving Travieso anti-inflammatories, but the concern is how much tightness will set in, especially since he's had low back problems in the past. And by the way, since his accident at this spot here, there's a newly installed railing in the press conference area. Now for the latest on the Midwest Regional, let's go to Bonnie Bernstein.
And Arkansas, Penn State getting a 5 seed despite sliding a lot, and Arkansas all the way down at a 12 seed. Marquette, a strong rush at the end of the season. Digger, you thought they might get that 4 seed.
Marquette really played strong at the end of the year. They won at Louisville. They won at home against Cincinnati. They knocked out Memphis, and that gave them a 4th seed in the East.
So Penn State a 5, Marquette a 4, Bradley the 8-9 game, and UMass against Central Florida. Quick impressions as far as UMass trying to get out of that Providence Regional, Dick.
Well, I think they could have some trouble in game 2. I think the second game is going to really pit a battle.